to the show. This is
Thursdays with Toni.
and Trish. Guys, for tonight's episode, it'll be an exciting one because we have a guest tonight. So, this episode will serve like a 101 for young professionals where important components of financial literacy will be discussed by the guest. Toni?
But before that, we would like to introduce our guest for tonight. So he is a graduate of UP Las Bañas with a bachelor's degree in civil engineering. He's currently a licensed civil engineer with experience in structural, water resources, cost engineering, and quantity surveying. Licensed by the Insurance Commission for 3.5 years now, he develops good relationships with his clients in Sun Life by offering sound financial education. And in return, he helps his clients have a good relationship with their money. So I'm proud to introduce to you guys my good friend, Lawrence Vivar. Hello.
Hi, Toni and Trish. Thank you
Hi.
for having me here.
Thank you for accepting our invitation. And we are so excited to learn a lot of things from you tonight. All right.
Looking
Okay,
forward
so
as well.
okay, so without further ado, I'll jump right into our first question. So first part of the question would be, I want you to share what you actually do as a financial advisor. And next would be, why is it important that people understand our paychecks or payslips?
Sure thing. All right. So, in order to be more diligent with our salary or paycheck, it's important to know where it should already go. So, for example, the best way that I can describe a budget is telling your money where it should go instead of wondering where it already went. So that's why having a budget is very important, right? As a financial advisor, our mission in Sun Life is to help our clients achieve lifetime financial security, or what we call money for life, right? So as a financial advisor, I address the needs of the client wherever their life stage may be. So for example, in our age group, we're in the getting started phase, wherein we're just building independence and confidence in our career. Single pa naman, wala pa namang binubuhay na pamilya. So usually in our age group ganito. And then once you have your own children, or you have supporting someone through education, like your relatives, this is called the moving up stage. So these clients are prioritizing family above all. And then once maybe your children are already in college, or they've finished their education, so mga adults na rin yung mga anak nila, this is called the preparing ahead stage, wherein ang main focus na ng clients ay nurturing their health and wealth. And then lastly, kapag nandun na sila sa retirement age, this is called the living a legacy phase or goal life stage. So this is for them to ensure that they have a worry-free retirement, or ensuring lasting golden years. All right, so I prepare life insurance policies that are appropriate for their needs. So kung nasan man sila dito, yun yung gagamitin ko na policy or plan for them. And also based on their budget.
Yeah, that's right, Lawrence. So since you have already explained, the importance of understanding our paycheck, how do we start budgeting if it's something we don't really do?
Thanks for that question. All right, something we call the 50-30-20 rule. It's a very simple rule wherein this is where you take 50% of your salary to your basic needs, whatever it is, your food, transportation, bills, and anything else. And then make sure that 20% is already put into your personal savings or your investment. So the remaining 30%, I would call it the guilt-free spending. So whatever it is that you want to do, to put your money into, like your shopping needs, Lazada, 99 sale, whatever it is, it will make sure that your money is, you're not feeling bad or guilty about spending your money.
Thank you. I think this is a bit common, but people actually struggle to apply it to themselves, especially with all the sales going on. But yeah, thank you for that insight. Now, so next naman, Lo, we're curious, how can someone start saving to achieve financial freedom? So we're curious to know if you have any tips, because I think as millennials, yun yung ating ultimate goal, to achieve financial freedom.
Yeah, I agree. for me, I think you have to first rewire your mindset into something na mas maiintindihan mo yung relationship mo with your own money. So for example, the first thought, food for thought, is that money is something that you work hard for. Nung bata tayo, maybe pinabigyan tayo lagi ng kung ano yung gusto nating ipabili sa ating parents. But now, as we're adult, as we say, na-realize natin yung value ng money na napakahirap pa lang kumita. So I think ito yung first na kailangan natin isipin. Okay. Next, you have to determine that wants and needs are different things. So if you, this is something na napaka-basic pero napaka-important din, very fundamental in budgeting or in handling your personal finances. Na once you realize na this is a want and this is a need, then hopefully it can help you make better decisions in handling your finances. And lastly, I want to emphasize is that saving or investing, these are long-term goals or long-term activities that it doesn't take overnight to build a very good personal savings or investment fund. So you just have to wait to get what you want. For example, you may compare yourself to others na, ay, si ganito, friend ko na ganito, magka-age lang kami pero may bahay na siya or may meron na siyang kotse. But maybe you're in different line of work. Yung work niya talagang high paying, like nasa barko siya or pilot siya or whatever. Kasi ikaw, you're starting your own journey in your career. So or pwedeng shift ka rin ng career. So I think you have to separate yourself from comparing your personal journey with others and focus on yourself na I think kailangan mo rin i-understand and mahalin yung sarili mo na I only want to grow and I only want to compare myself with my past self. So whatever progress I have right now, I believe that I'm already better 1 year ago or maybe 2 years ago, not just in your career but also in your life. Having sustaining good habits, whether it is financial or having taking care of your personal health, mental health, physical health, that should get you started into having a better relationship with yourself and with your personal finances.
All right, that's good, Lawrence, that you highlighted, the importance of sometimes it really takes time for you to establish a good financial standing. And I like the fact that you highlighted the needs and wants, and you should separate those and know your priorities. But as a corporate millennial, there are a lot of us who have needs na more than our income. So it's sometimes inevitable having the need to borrow money, right? So as a financial advisor, what are some of the do's and don'ts that you can share to us?
All right. So for me, having a good relationship with your bank, I think is a good thing. Also, first you have to determine if you're going to borrow some money, you have to first determine or be clear with your intention as to how you're going to use it. Actually, may stigma kasi na kapag nangutang ka, masama ito. Actually, hindi naman eh. Meron tayong tinatawag na good debt and bad debt. So for example, if you're planning on making a big purchase, putting it on your credit card is actually a good thing because hindi masyado maapektuhan yung current savings mo. As long as you have good cash flow wherein next month, mababayaran mo yung ganito, yung big purchase mo. Kaya pag hinati mo sa 6 months, ganun naman yung purpose ng paggamit ng credit card. In a way, it's using other people's money or the bank's money to purchase whatever it is that you need. So, yun yung first step. Kailangan clear ka sa kung ano yung gagamitin. Second, if you are using a credit card, be sure to pay your dues on time. So, very important yan. Kasi yung interest ng credit cards nagko-compound yan. So, kapag hindi mo na bayaran on time, mas magmamahal yung dues mo. Yeah. Maybe next month or each day that you're late in your payments, magiging detrimental yan to your credit. Also, it will hurt your personal savings. And also, pero kung mga maliliit na bagay naman, yung babayaran or yung kailangan mong utangin, I think it's best na you have to think twice kung depende sa amount, di ba? You have to think twice kung kailangan mo ba talaga mangutang or kaya naman ng savings. So, in a way, parang I think about it na kukurot ka lang sa savings. So, if you have a certain thing that you want to buy, for example, a pair of shoes, makeup, a personal rule that I have. This is from a rapper named Jay-Z. If you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it. It's a very simple thought na kung hindi mo siya kayang bilhin twice or two of the same things, maybe you can't afford it. So maybe that's when you have to borrow money o kaya you have to save up for it muna. Alright, so I just want to go back also to the previous question. So I think this is a good thing na ma-share ko rin. So regarding the financial freedom, meron tayong 5 steps. Very simple. So the first step is improving cash flow. So to improve your cash flow, you have to try to add, maybe kailangan dumagdag yung salary mo. So whatever means you have, ma-promote ka o kaya makahanap ka ng better opportunity sa ibang company. This is some ways to improve your cash flow. Also, pwede rin magdagdag ka ng source of income. So to have a source of income other than your salary, this is a good thing. Like a side hustle, like a business, or you have a passion project na later on you're able to monetize it. For example, itong podcast na to, I think this is a very good way of adding cash flow. So for yung ibang tao na I believe nag-start na rin gumawa ng podcast, they can monetize it, diba? So you're enjoying at the same time, nag-earn ka pa. Second step is getting out of debt. So ito yung mga bad debt. So kapag lubog ka na sa utang, mahirap na mag-improve yung financial standing mo. That's why you have to get out of debt. Kasi kung lagi ka lang umutang, it's like taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back in terms of your financial journey. So you have to eliminate this. It's a process. I don't judge people kung meron silang debt. I just help them as a financial advisor na ito yung pwede natin gawin na steps para matanggal ang current standing mo sa ganyan para mag-improve pa yung financial standing. Alright, so third step is to set up your emergency fund. So ano yung emergency fund? This is the fund that you will use for your emergency. Very self-explanatory. You prepare 3 to 6 months worth of your expenses. So when I meet up with my client, first we do the budgeting, diba? So kapag nagpo-budget kami, binabangga namin side by side yung kanyang monthly income and monthly expense. So lahat yan nakalista. So whatever is left, yun yung magiging savings niya. So kapag yung emergency fund sineset up namin, kinukuha lang namin dun sa monthly expense niya. So why would you need 3 to 6 months worth of emergency fund? This is to ensure that you don't touch your personal savings in terms of in case that you have this emergency. All right. So fourth step is to getting protected from life's risk. Actually, let's skip to fifth step muna. Kasi usually ganito yung ginagawa ng mga tao. Diretso sila sa investment. So what type of investment? Mga stocks, business, mutual funds. Let's discuss that later. So usually ganito yung ginagawa ng mga tao kapag nagawa na nila nag-improve na yung cash flow nila, yung first 3 steps, wala na silang utang, and then nakapag-set up na sila ng emergency fund, dumidiretso na sila sa investments. And I think it's very important to recognize the fourth step. Fourth step is to have some type of protection. So ano ba yung protection na tinutukoy ko? So in Sun Life, ito yung mga life insurance and health insurance. So why would people need this type of protection? Kasi kapag ikaw ginamit mo yung savings mo para mag-invest, kaso lang hindi ka prepared, wala kang safety net. Ang nangyari, nagkaroon ka ng sakit o kaya you have to close down your business kasi you have to pay the hospital bills. Sayang naman lahat ng savings and investment. So that's why you have life insurance, to make sure that your insurance policy actually pays for your hospital bills, or your yung pinaka worst case is you have dependents. So syempre yung family mo na may iwan, may hirapan kasi ikaw yung breadwinner if you are the breadwinner. So that's why you need to have life insurance. So that's it. The steps to financial freedom.
Thank you. Very insightful. And as a millennial, I appreciate it because it gave me a clearer picture. How should we really be doing things, diba? Kasi helpful din na you are reminded with this type of guide. So now that you've shared, how we should be understanding our paychecks, how we can save, about debts, you've already touched on some investments and savings. For millennials naman, what do you think would be a good starting investment?
So ito, for example, VUL. So VUL is something that we in Sun Life offer. It's a combination of insurance policy with an investment component. So yung insurance companies, actually hindi lang naman Sun Life, we offer this especially for millennials kasi maganda to habang bata ka. It's a two-in-one product wherein you're having the insurance policy and then meron na rin siyang investment component. So basically, it answers two questions. What if I live too long and what if I die too early? So yun yung sinasagot ng policy na to or ng type of investment na to. So if you live too long, bawa hindi mo na nagamit yung insurance, okay lang kasi nakapag-set aside ka ng money wherein it's actually invested into other types of investment like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, whatever is the choice that is best for you according to your risk profile. Yun yung pinag-uusapan ng advisor and ng client through the personal finance planning session. Right, so ito yung VUL. Now, stocks. Stocks, ito, personally, ito yung best type of investment na ginagawa ko. It's a type of investment wherein you become a shareholder of publicly listed stocks in the stock market. So, yung big companies natin like Ayala, SM, Jollibee, PLDT, Globe, whatever, itong mga malalaking companies na listed sa stock market na nagiging shareholder ka kasi you are buying part of the company. Now that you are a shareholder, you get to enjoy the growth of the company in the stock market. So how do you earn through this? Kakaroon ka ng price appreciation or capital appreciation sa paglaki ng value ng stocks mo. So for example, you bought Ayala at a price of 700 pesos per share. And after 1 year, naging 1,000 pesos per share. So that means you have earned 300 pesos per share. So ganun kalaki yung growth ng investment mo through stock market. And also the second way is through dividends. So kapag dividends naman, yung company o-offer or nagbibigay sa kanilang shareholders ng extra money nila through dividends. So halimbawa, it was a good year for this company, for Jollibee for example. So they give you a certain amount per share. So kung gaano ka, depende yan sa dami ng shares na hawak. Real estate, actually okay din to. It's a very traditional type of investment wherein meron kang bibilin ng lupa and also property. So how does real estate work? Sa tingin ko ito yung pinaka-traditional na type ng investment. Alam ng parents natin or alam ng mga usually mayayaman talaga yung bumibili ng real estate. The good thing is it's very accessible to everyone. Meron na tayong mga friends na probably real estate brokers or agents. And for sure, okay din siya kasi not only do you own a type of investment, ito sigurado na lalaki yung value niya, mag-appreciate siya. And also pwede rin na gawin mo habang binabayaran mo yung amortization ng binili mo na land or property. You have a tenant to live in your property and then ayun na, meron ka ng passive income na magbabayad sila sa'yo through rent. So at least yung cash flow mo hindi super affected or hindi negatively affected. Pero I recommend this kapag medyo malaking type or malaking capital kasi yung kailangan. And also make sure that you can afford it. You have a good home loan plan with your bank or you have a good relationship with a real estate broker agent para sigurado na maayos yung type ng property. Ito, ma-recommend ko din na mag-invest kayo in new skills. So, for example, in your field, lalo na kung kung bagong graduate ka, hindi siya yung type na bibilin mo. Probably this one or this type of investment it takes hard work, it takes time. Kasi mag-tapos ka ng mag-attend ka probably ng seminar or alam mo yun, pwede rin sa internet lang. Napakadami mo na matututunan sa YouTube. Take some time to learn new skills that will set you apart from your peers or from your colleagues of the same age group. So what do you mean by this? Pwedeng formal education like graduate degree, alam mo yun, master's, and also pwede rin na mag-attend ka or choose a career wherein dito ka mag-specialize. For example, me as a civil engineer, Actually, nasa general na ano pa ako na phase wherein maraming type ng fields of engineering yung ina-assign sa akin na work. Pero someday, I hope makapag-ano rin ako, specialize in structural or geotechnical engineering para mas tumaas yung market value ko as an engineer. It will set me apart from my colleagues na kapag geotechnical engineering or structural engineering, meron na akong added credibility through my master's degree. So, that's it.
Thank you very much, Lo. Sobrang very meaty yung mga answers mo. I'd say I believe I would have had a follow-up questions, but you've already tackled them. I hope our viewers also get to appreciate yung sharings mo. I particularly like the sa skills because in this time it would be really vital if you want to grow professionally and personally. All right. I think, and that's unfortunately all the time that we have for tonight. But again, thank you very much, Lo, for accepting this invite and for sharing your knowledge, and your experiences that I hope our viewers would find valuable. Trish?
Yes, thank you so much, Lawrence, and thank you for reminding us that we should be good stewards of our own wealth. It's not just meant to be spent, all the time. It's meant to be saved as well. Thank you, Lawrence.
Thank you.
Thank you
and
very
one
much.
last thing,
Sure.
I really like the thing that Trish said. Kasi for me, wait lang. Para sa akin kasi, ang true value of money is that when you're more financially secured, there are more people that you can help. So for yourself, for your future, pwede kang makatulong sa family mo, pwede kang makatulong sa mga anak mo, and at the same time, pwede kang makatulong sa community. And I think this is the best type of investment that you can do. Na may talaga direction yung investment mo for yourself and for others. More for others actually.
Very well said, and a very good way to close the show. Again, thank you very much, Lawrence, and thank you very much to our viewers and to our listeners. We hope that you get to tune in for more episodes in the future. Again, this has been Thursdays with Toni
and Trish. Have a great night, everyone.